Okay, so this one is a group discussion session, and are proceeding ahead with the GD now. So I'll be giving you one topic, and then some time to think, and one of you can start that particular topic, and you can start the discussion, and then 10-15 minutes will be given to you for participation, and one of you can conclude that. Now, in the GD, as you know, there are three components, three parts. One is you can introduce, then second is the participation in the GD, and then third is the conclusion. There is always a structure for each part, and introduction, whosoever does introduction, he should follow that particular structure. You need to, tell something about the topic, I mean, what you want others to discuss. And then in the body part, you need to listen to others, you need to participate, give your points. And the observer will give you credit on the basis of, how good your points are. आप कितना बोले, कितनी बार आप participate कर रहे हैं, उसके बेस पे आपको credit मिलेगा. So conclusion ये जो conclude करना चाहते हैं, conclusion करना सबसे आसान होता है because easy entry मिलती है और points भी तुम्हें पता होते हैं. So those of you who are targeting for conclusion, they should actually keep on jotting down some points, so that at the end they have a couple of points with them to speak. So that is how this entire format is there. Now I give you a topic and then 2-3 minutes to think. Anything you want to ask before I give you the topic? Anything, any doubt if you have in your mind? And I'm very sure आपने videos देख लिए हैं YourPedia पे. How to start GD, how to conclude GD, how to participate in GD. Couple of GDs you must have seen. Anything you want to ask me before I give you a topic, and then I give you some time to think and then start. Okay, so here I give you the topic. Please write the name of the topic for GD today. Climate change is the real threat. Climate change is the real threat. Climate change is the real threat. Keep all of you yourself mute. Climate change is the real threat. So I give you 2 minutes to think, and then I say start, and then one of you will start. Okay, please start it now.
Good evening, friends. My name is Rahul Pawar, and I take this opportunity to discuss about the topic given to us. Friends, the topic that is given to us is climate change is the real threat. it is really interesting topic and it is a need of the hour. So we can discuss about these topics in these particular segments, like why and how climate is changing, what are the impacts that is being created around the globe, and what world is already doing to get rid of this threat, and things what we more can do to resolve them. So I believe all of us can portray terrific topics related, points related to the topic. So I open the house for the discussion for everyone.
I want to start with recent case studies. I want to
As we
start with
all
recent
know that we observe this climate change.
Recently, it is found in various parts of Europe, especially in Great Britain, that there is a problem of dryness. Roads are melting, and government is making water conservation policies. Like if anyone is found to waste water by washing car through hose pipes, and then there will be $1,000 fine. Also, if someone is found wasting water through in crops, washing their homes, etc., in by any means, if someone is found wasting water, then there is serious fine on that person.
Yes,
And
yes, right,
I
Ritik.
think
And
also,
there that is also
I also want to mention one more point that Europe is very hypocritical.
area.
Like if these
Guys,
problems,
I think
the
सबसे पहले
problem of
हमें
climate change
change
is
के
already there
reasons
in
के बारे में
South Africa,
guys, I
in
think
Africa
सबसे पहले
continent.
हमें climate change
But
के
if there is
reasons
problem
के
in
बारे
Europe,
में
then it's
find
the
out
world
करना
problem.
चाहिए.
And if there is problem in other area of the world, then it's their problem. Like if there is problem in Asia, then it's the problem of Asia. But
Yes,
if there is
Ritik,
problem of Europe,
Ritik,
like
I think
climate
first
change,
of all we have
then
to
it's
find
the
the
world's
reason
problem.
behind the climate
Ritik,
change.
you are not getting the point.
You are only
First, but
focusing the case studies that is.
you got much more specific.
Yes,
Let us
but
first
we have to
broadly describe it, what it
first,
is and how,
first we have to
why it
discuss
is.
what is the
This was
reason
relevant
behind
case
the
I
study,
climate
agree.
change
and it
and
is
I
then
related to
agree with
climate change
Bhupendra.
especially.
what is
We
happening in the
cannot just
Europe
narrow
and the
down about
other
a
worlds,
particular
and then we
continent.
should
We
discuss
should,
the solution of the climate change. So that's
yes,
how we
yes.
should proceed the discussion. So in my opinion, climate change that is majorly from the pollutant that which we are increasing, and due to the greenhouse gases, for example, SOx gases, NOx gases, and other gases, and due to this the whatever the radiation is coming from the sun, that is trapped inside the atmosphere. So this is the major
Greenhouse
reason
effect.
behind the climate change. And according to the IPCC report, every decade around 0.5 to 1 degree Celsius is increasing around the globe. And recently UK is also facing, and in 2020 Australia bushfire. These are some of the example.
Yes, yes, I agree with you, man. Currently, UK is also facing with drought. And
yes,
right now, one more thing is going on.
Yes.
Like Arctic Circle is being reported being melted 4 times that the rate it was melting earlier. So this is a topic need of in the need of an hour. Right, I agree with you, man.
And
I also want to add one more point.
Like
There is a crisis of Ukraine and Russia. There is a serious threat of nuclear wars. And if a nuclear war happens, as many case studies are being performed in various universities.
I think
Ritik,
you are going not in the direction.
You are going to the very critical situation.
Listen to me, man.
Than this climate change.
I am sticking to
this
climate change.
There are a few
about
points
the
like
climate
why
change.
it is happening. There are
So our
trees.
topic
We are
was
cutting
the
trees.
climate
And
change.
I think
I am telling you climate
as much as we are
Listen
cutting,
to me
we are
first.
consuming. So those are some of the reasons why it is happening. The pollution we are making.
Yes.
That is which makes the environment worse.
As
And
we are talking about different steps that are being
we are not making it
taken by
sustainable.
different countries around the world, and we should also discuss about the mentality of colonization that has been observed by all of us right now. Like Western countries are asking India, and countries like China, those are developing countries right now. They are asking us to reduce the carbon footprints. But we should also accept that the countries like USA and England, France, and Germany, they are very small in size, and still they are making a lot of carbon footprints. So
I agree
we should
with
also,
you. But currently, if we discuss about these
carbon footprints, then they also compensate us a bit.
Yes, climate change का issue है काफी
Let me come to the discussion.
First need to discuss is climate change is real threat.
Yes, so if the climate change is a real threat, that is why you are climate change.
There are lots of things due to which climate is.
Guys, I want to mention India's stance on climate change in United Nations Security Council. India has proposed to for European country to make a climate fund of around $1 trillion. But Europe is ignoring the India's proposal of this climate fund. And if we think about this climate fund, then it is very relevant for fighting this climate change. If there is global
I believe
$1 trillion,
something.
then various developing countries can work on the plan to fight this climate change.
I would like us to discuss how we can get rid of it and how world is taking a step to get rid of it. I believe we should discuss.
I agree with Ritik, and I also want to add something. Not only India, also some Indian companies, overseas Indian companies, they are also facing the discrimination. Like if we take the example of Tata, Tata is the biggest plant in India, and they are also the biggest, one of the biggest producer in Britain as well. And right now they are threatening, or they are appealing the Britain government that they will shut down their all the operation in Britain if the Britain government will not compensate them for, at least they have to bear the 50% amount of all the expenses that
ये जो डिस्कस कर रहे हैं पहले हमें रीजंस पता होना चाहिए, उसके बाद ही
we should also talk about 1992 climate Paris Agreement. We are not discussing Paris Agreement.
Listen to me, Ritik, listen to me. हम लोग को पहले समझना पड़ेगा कि क्यों क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है, ठीक है?
उसी के बाद ही अपन सॉल्यूशन प्रोवाइड कर पाएंगे,
फिर सॉल्यूशन की बात करते हैं। पहले
क्लाइमेट चेंज का जो मेन इशू है
ये तो डिसाइड कर ले कि क्लाइमेट चेंज क्यों हो रहा है।
Man propose the points, I understand. One line was sufficient. I got the idea. Just discuss the points.
Yes.
So we can see that how
जो क्लाइमेट चेंज का जो मेजर रीजन है वो पोल्यूटेंट्स और हमारी फॉसिल फ्यूल की डिपेंडेंसी
that is discussed, that has been discussed. So what are the instances that give that climate is changing? For example, there is a heat wave. The summer is the temperatures are very high. There is excessive rainfall. There is freezing winters. So the weather are reacting in a very extreme manner. So this is an instance which tells us that the climate is changing. And for example, let us take the case of Rajasthan. Rajasthan is mostly desert, but still there are floods in Rajasthan. Who would
right now there is
50 years ago? You are very correct. Europe is also facing the temperature around
that climate change is real. So
yes, right.
So because and why we are talking about that climate change is real or not, because there is a discussion going on in some parts of the world that climate change is not real. So we have to
one thing we can observe
there is one thing.
If we see, like we could observe that when the rainy season is coming, when the winter is coming, then when the spring is coming, autumn season is coming, like we could observe that. But right now what climate change has made, like you are not able to distinguish. And
summer and also I would like to add one very important point. As an Indian, we should also mention because it has targeted to be carbon free company, or carbon like India will not produce any type of carbon footprints till 2017. 2017. So how we will achieve this target? We will have to decrease our dependence on coal, and for that we have to generate some renewable.
Yes, one method could be ethanol blending. One method could be ethanol blending, and we can take inspiration from Brazil.
That is
government has announced
20% blending. If we are able to improve this ethanol blending of around 50%, then our dependence on petrol
currently we have 5%, and we are increasing to 10%.
Currently it is 5.
Currently it is 5 only. Some places it is 10, but it is increasing gradually in future.
Yes, but we need to work fast, and we take.
But there is one point.
Brazil.
Yes.
In this aspect, as it is 90% of ethanol blending.
There is one point we are actually unaware about. Due to the Russian and Ukraine war, people in Europe are facing the energy crisis, and they are trying to switch back to coal. So this in future can be a big issue, I believe. Currently, the news is going on around the globe that they are going to
it just as Indian Oil is doing, what is doing that it is establishing the joint venture with the electrical vehicle company. So whatever they are achieving, dependency on the fossil fuel will.
I think we are debating from our
also
topic.
They are focusing
Our topic is climate change is the real.
We actually agree that it is a threat.
We are going from those fossil fuels where we had polluted the country.
I think we have already discussed what is climate
solutions.
change and
So
how is it happening.
Yes,
Now we
how
should
it is
discuss
happening.
various
Now we should
agreements
discuss
related to
about the
climate change, like
solution.
Paris Agreement.
Solution.
I believe that is what Mayank was
Yeah,
discussing.
I think
And
we
how
should
we
not
can
discuss
resolve
about the
them.
solutions of the climate change, and we should appreciate the efforts that has been made by the government of
So,
India.
so
As we
we will
know that
all
we,
agree that
first of all,
renewable
we have
energy
to
sources
decrease
are
our
the
dependence
first
I want to
on
mention one fact that
replacement
India is the
electrical
best
generation.
performer in
For
climate
that,
change
we are
actions.
working on some renewable sources like solar energy and all, and we are making a lot of solar parks in different parts of India. Like recent one has been inaugurated in Gujarat.
Right,
So we should
right,
appreciate
right.
the effort
Yeah,
made by
30
Indian
gigawatt
government,
plant,
and we are
which
the
will be
leading
largest
power
in
in
the
world.
world.
We are
In
also
solar power,
collaborating with
because we are
Baltic countries to
organization
establish
of solar
wind
power,
energy
and we are
in
Alongside
Tamil Nadu region
renewable
also.
energy, alongside
We are also
renewable
collaborating with
energy, alternative
Baltic
fuels
countries
are
to
being
establish
promoted.
energy through wind in South region, and that is
Right,
a very
right.
great
Government
initiative
is
by Indian
Coastal
government.
region,
also
We should
coastal
also
region, we can say even.
talk about this. Also, India is
Right.
the best
And
performer in
when
Paris
we
Climate
talk about the
Agreement,
word,
and it is the
our
India is
government is
also the
also
best
very
performer
concerned
in
about climate
taking
so
actions
that
in
they are
climate change.
very
Government is
out of
also
single
very
use of
concerned
sustainable
plastic.
because
goals, 13,
in
14, and
India,
15 talks about land, water, and there we are talking about climate change. Like,
So
17
listen,
sustainable
the
goals.
guys,
India's
government is
stance
also
on
concerned
climate
about
change
the climate change
has been
because
from the very early stages, and it was before 2000, before 10 years, the SDG goals were created, and now they have
Yeah.
again they have been revised SDG goals. So
Mhm.
they are
Please, can you please
the
explain what is SDG, please?
Sustainable
SDG
development
goals are
Sustainable
sustainable
development goals.
development goals,
Okay, okay,
which
okay.
will create,
These
which
comes
will
under
create the
Paris
renewable
Agreement
energy.
specifically.
Yes, specifically Paris Agreement, and these goals will provide India with an opportunity with the opportunity to tackle the climate change. For example, the renewable energy, but renewable energy can be from the solar, wind, and we are working in this direction to create this energy. And the next goal in the SDG is to create enough water, drinking water. That is also because as the climate change is happening, the potable water is less.
Guys, we need to
Is
think
shrinking.
more of
Yes,
renewable
yes.
energy. Like the efficiency of renewable energy is very less.
Yes,
We talk about
renewable
solar,
energy.
Keeps on
But
especially
increasing.
solar power
Ritik,
plants,
There are
then it
the
is around
point is
20%.
right. The point is
And a
right.
serious
But
research
his
is needed
point
to
is also right.
conducted to
Water
improve
also
this
comes
efficiency.
under
but
climate
you have
change.
And if somehow we
solar
are able to
energy
improve the
is
India
efficiency
is a
around
large country.
70%, then we can
Everything cannot be
comfortably
done with renewable energy.
transform from
if we can convert
fossil
that
fuels to
energy,
renewable
low
sector.
efficiency is also okay.
Indian
Alongside
government,
We should
pollution,
Indian
somehow
government
harness that
already
energy.
had launched Kusum
Efficiency.
Yojana in solar power generation, and aim to solar power generation up to 2013 about 40% of total generation in India already had launched Kusum Yojana.
Mhm.
And
And
many
one
alongside
more
the
point is
energy
there
sources,
that
I would like to request
IOCL,
everyone,
Panipat
if
plant,
we,
where
any one of you know
IOCL
about
has
what government is doing about
planted like
fresh water,
If
drinking water.
if I talk about Delhi government
bio
has the rule of odd even vehicle, that on odd days these vehicles will run on
It
road.
is currently not in
on
working, but yes, it
yes,
was
no,
sometime.
it
It was
is
during
working.
can be there.
And during
right.
during crop burning days it is working actually, क्योंकि
yeah, and regarding
Delhi
That
crop
is
burning,
that
like
Guys,
what
we need to
actually has
discuss
been
something
IOCL
serious.
prohibited.
that it has
Aniket,
Climate change is a serious
yes,
threat, and if climate change is
I
not
agree
tackled
with you.
properly,
It was
then
in
there can be
process
food
earlier,
issues of
but
food
that has
and
been
security.
making energy out
prohibited.
of
and
it
Guys,
also
rather than
excuse
so
me, guys.
government is, yeah,
Yes,
If
yes.
we do not tackle climate change properly, then it can be a serious threat to in food security also. And like
Yes.
if because of climate change,
The,
photosynthesis will not occur properly, there will be
no,
very damaging
How
patterns of
do
crop
universal cycle
patterns, changing
of
crop
sun
patterns.
and moon,
Yes,
Crop
and
pattern will
there will be a
change.
serious threat to
yes.
food security also.
Somewhere will
government
desert, somewhere
government
will
is
And
flood.
also
I
concerned about
want
this,
to
so
mention
that
one
so
point.
Only then there will be the
the
increase in
recent
the pollution.
the
That
recent
is
decision
India is currently
government has
facing,
taken
because
about
according to the
ban of
WHO
single use of
report of
plastic.
So
2021,
I
out of
would
100 cities.
right,
reiterate.
Aniket? I agree with you.
So
But
But
the
the
I
thing
would
government
that
has
like
we
to talk
banned.
can't
about
discuss this.
We are
Reality
mainly
is
Government has
discussing
banned
about the
Because
single
solar.
use
so
of
the
plastic.
Guys, we should also
air
discuss
air
that because of
index
climate
is
change,
Not
the
is
islands
necessarily
are
increasing.
use
drowning
this
in the sea.
not use that
So
In
we
near
should also
future,
people are still using we
in
see
coming 10 or 20
by
years,
the
many countries
government to science.
will be destroyed in the
Ritik,
sea.
Hello. I would like to request everyone, if anyone has an idea what we can more do to resolve these things, apart from the
I
idea
want
that
to tell one
government
thing.
apart from that government is
First of
already
all, guys,
apart
the
from that.
whole world has to
tell
collectively take
one
the
point.
action.
Yeah, I want
The
to tell
whole
one
world
point.
has to take action collectively. India cannot if India only can will take action, then it will not solve the problem of climate change. Whole world, all the countries need to take simultaneous and collective action to fight this problem. Because it is a global problem, it is not only India's
goals are
problem.
there, and
individual
There should be an agreement.
Solution is that we should make a climate fund.
Hello?
As our Indian government proposed in the
you are
United
right.
Nations Security Council, we should establish,
Yes.
propose climate fund to the European countries. As European countries are already developed, they are able to manage that fund of $1 trillion. And that fund will be distributed to various countries so that all countries at an individual level can fight the climate change.
They are not in a situation to do any money. Ritik, your point is valid. Your point is valid, but they are not in a situation to get any kind of money as they are already facing inflation and
Ritik is right. I think, but one thing I should add on that, on individual basis,
all the countries.
Currently, it is not possible, the whatever Aniket has said, because of the financial problem that a particular continent is facing.
Guys, we should also raise awareness about climate change. Like we should increase the level of awareness by some advertisements. And
basic thing,
we need a serious promotion of this climate change.
The basic thing any citizen can do.
We did not do anything. Why? What are the challenges? Why we are not able to make or sustain right now? So, like, there are a lot of issues there. We are not able to.
We are doing step by step. We are taking steps.
Guys, recently there was a video posted online. A man has worn the costume of a dinosaur, and he
have taken years to destroy the planet.
Guys, did you see?
Years to mend it, no?
Guys, there was one advertisement recently where a guy has worn the costume of a dinosaur and he was pretending and the history of dinosaur. That if we do not tackle this climate change problem, then humanity will go extinct. Like dinosaurs extinct before that time. So we need now promotions like this. Raise the awareness of climate change among the
So I take the opportunity to conclude this discussion. Like
okay, now wait, Rahul. So I'll give chance to each one of you to conclude. 1 minute each only 1 minute. Okay. So each one will conclude and will give the points as per the discussion. I start with Ritik. Ritik, conclude the entire discussion. Only 1 minute.
So, guys, I want to conclude the discussion. Climate change. We have concluded that that climate change is a serious problem, and we need to tackle this problem. And we can tackle this problem by taking certain measures. Like we need to stick to the Sustainable Development Goals. We need to strictly follow the climate Paris Agreement. Not only in India, all the whole countries should stick to Paris Agreement. India proposed in United Nations Security Council to for European countries to raise a climate fund of $1 trillion. We should seriously think of this, and more countries should propose this action to the European countries as they are already developed. And yes, that's the conclusion.
Okay, Rahul.
So I take the opportunity to conclude the discussion that we have done. We had a very fruitful discussion. We discussed about the reasons behind the climate change, like pollution gases, fossil fuel dependency. We discussed about carbon footprints, and we discussed about single-use plastics and the heat wave and wildfire we are facing. We came up with we discussed about the remedies that world is already working on, like they are working, the Indian government is working on ban of single-use plastic and working on sustainable development goals. So we all have come up to a conclusion that world is taking step day by day, and we will able to tackle this problem in future. Thank you.
Okay, Bhupender.
I would like to take this opportunity to conclude the discussion. And the discussion was quite chaotic, but still we discussed a lot of the points. And we could discuss that why it is happening. We discussed that how we can improve it and what are the effects on it. And out of those, like what are the reasons why climate change is happening. We discussed that the pollution is the factor. We discussed that what how like we can improve it. The SDG goals has been made. Renewable energy we are using, like big companies what they are doing about it, and regarding the governments. What government schemes are there? They are making it like recently the plastic ban, single-use plastic ban. We are tackling like that, and that is mostly what we discussed. We were discussing. Thank you.
Yeah, Rajendra.
Sir, I would like to thanks to discuss on topic climate change. And climate change is a very serious issue nowadays. So it is very important to awareness to the people about the climate change. What is the reason behind the climate change? So first upon awareness to all the people, because all are using single plastic. Government side it is banned, but on ground level it is not banned. They are using nowadays. They are using. And second thing, the government take the action on the plastic uses plastic, and we should become on one stage to solve this problem. Not a single country, all the countries should come on the single stage and discuss on this topic. And developed country, they should have to come in front to create a financial support. And other Indian government is always working on the renewable energy sources like a solar energy and wind energy they are using. And nowadays one is a big achievement to convert an electrical vehicle nowadays. This is, sir.
Okay, no, Aniket.
Thank you.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for giving me opportunity to conclude this group discussion. The topic of the group discussion is climate change is the real threat. So in our conclusion is that it is actually the real threat. Some reasons we discuss why these climate changes are there. In this category, ozone depletion, greenhouse gases, automobile exhaust, exhaust from industries, crop burning. These are the main causes due to which climate changing is there, and that is very real threat. And for remedies of this threat, how we can tackle, our government and international countries are taking their steps. If we talk about our country, they are working on sustainable development goal. Government is telling to the country, to the industry, our Indian companies to work on the sustainable development goals. Our government is also work on the ban of single use of plastics. And if we talk about Delhi government, air quality is very poor there in Delhi. So Delhi government is working on odd even vehicle policy. In my opinion, we have discussed on this topic. So we concluded that individual persons should also take part for the safety of our climate, in which individual person can use judicially their vehicle if they can cover short distance on their foot. So these are some.
Aniket, you have to conclude now. Yeah. So
Yeah.
Samsung, what is your name?
It's Mohammed Faizan. Sorry, I could not write. Yes, thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity. Sir, I would like to conclude that we have that climate change is very real, and it poses a great threat. If world has to fight climate change, it has to do it together, because if the sea level rise, many countries across the world will drown in it. So the climate change can only be fought when all countries come together, and in this climate change, only the countries which have the technology to develop renewable energy sources should be shared, and shared with everyone, so that we can fight the climate change. fight the climate change and remove it and stop it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mayank.
Yes, thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity to conclude the discussion. We have a very good discussion, and we come up with some of the point. First of all, we discuss whether climate change is real or not, because one of my friend has issue. Then I talk about the IPCC report, and according to the IPCC report, every decade, zero point 0.5 degrees Celsius temperature is increasing. So from there, we came to know that climate change is a very real situation, and it is a real threat to our human. And then we discuss about the occurrence of the climate change. And my friend Rajendra said the crop burning, and one of my friend said, Anike said, due to the pollutants that is emitting from the automobiles. So these are some of the reason from the climate change. And then we discussed about what is happening around the globe, as one of my friends said about the UK case study and Paris Agreement, and one of my friends said about the Amazon bushfire and the Australia bushfire. So these are some of the scenario that we discussed, and apart from this, we discuss about what is government is what is government is doing to solve these climate change. As Indian government is focusing about reducing their dependency on the basically fossil fuels and increasing their dependency on the electric vehicles. So they are establishing the joint venture with the electric vehicle company. So these are some of the things that we discussed in our topic.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for giving this opportunity to conclude. And our discussion was a bit chaotic but fruitful. And after hearing everyone's opinion, I would like to conclude that truly the climate change is a real threat, and there are a lot of reasons behind the climate change. But one of the main reason is our over dependence on fossil fuels. So different countries of the world and also India is working on to capture the carbon footprints, and India has set a target to be petrol free in upcoming 5 years, and to be carbon free till 2070. So we should also appreciate the efforts made by different governments and Indian government, but we should also notice the point that the Western countries, if they are expecting from us to reduce the carbon footprint, then they should also assist us with economically, and also they should keep all the political affairs away from this very important issue. And as one of my opinion was incomplete during the discussion, that about the NSG membership. So China and other countries, they are blocking India's candidature for NSG as a NSG member. So we should keep all these political affairs away from such important issue, and we should work collectively. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So let me tell you, see, conclusion is one of the easiest part of GD, as you must have seen that all of you could speak in the conclusion. And so what I advise you is like, even if you miss, introduction or body also, your performance is not that good. If you make end nicely, there's a still chance that you can clear the group discussion. So all you have to do is you have to wait for observer to give the nod for conclusion. The moment he says, okay, conclude now, तो आप conclusion करना start कर दो. लेकिन एक चीज आपने observe करोगे आप लोग कि जो आप लोगों ने अपने points discussion में बोले, वही point आप conclusion में भी बोल रहे हो. मतलब ये है कि जैसे जैसे ओम ने अगर कार्बन फुटप्रिंट का बात किया अपने बॉडी में, तो कार्बन फुटप्रिंट की बात तो कंक्लूजन में भी कर रहा है. उसी तरीके से अगर किसी ने लेट्स से बात किसी और टॉपिक पे बात किया, जैसे आईपीसीसी का मयंक ने बात किया, तो आईपीसीसी के बारे में मयंक कंक्लूजन में भी बोल रहा है. सो देयर इज नथिंग रॉन्ग इन दैट, बट कंक्लूजन इज नॉट ओनली योर पॉइंट्स. मेक श्योर जब आप कंक्लूड करें, अगर आप इसको एज अ स्ट्रेटेजी बना के जा रहे हैं कि आई एम टू डू स्मार्ट वर्क इन जीडी. स्मार्ट वर्क मीन्स मैं वहां पे फाइट मारूंगा जहां पे कोई फाइट नहीं मारता, जहां पे आसान है फाइट मारना, जहां पे एंट्री आसान है, वो कंक्लूजन होता है. कंक्लूजन में एंटर करना इज ऑलवेज इजी, बिकॉज जब कंक्लूजन बोला जाता है तो हर कोई इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन में होता है, सुनता नहीं है. अगर आपने अटेंटिव हो कि मेरे को कंक्लूजन करना है, तो मोमेंट से कंक्लूड, तो मैं कंक्लूजन में जंप कर जाऊंगा. और पॉइंट्स मेरे पास हैं, मेरे अपने पॉइंट्स और जो लोगों ने बोले वो पॉइंट्स मेरे पास हैं, तो जिसने कंक्लूजन करना है वो शुरू से ही ये स्ट्रेटेजी बना के जाता है कि मेरे को कंक्लूजन करना है, और वो सबसे आसान होता है कंक्लूजन में आपको एंटर मारना। लेकिन आपको बस एक चीज का ख्याल रखना है कि आपको वो पॉइंट्स लिखने हैं, यू हैव टू राइट इन योर कॉपी पॉइंट्स फ्रॉम अदर साइड्स। अगर आपको याद नहीं है, नाम याद नहीं है लोगों के, नथिंग टू वरी, all you can say that okay, we had a discussion here, though it was a chaotic discussion, it was not a very smooth discussion, but the points given by different members were very good. So now I conclude on behalf of entire group, and the topic given was climate change as a real threat, and we all agreed that yes, it is a real threat to the globe, to the world, and we have started feeling it now. So we discussed what are the causes of the global warming. Largely, we agree that it is because of the fossil fuel or carbon emission. So carbon footprint is one of the main reason of global warming. Then we started talking about what can be the possible solution, and all of us agreed that yes, we all should, the country should basically stick to sustainable development goals, which are 17 goals, and every nation should be, every nation should stick to these goals and try to fulfill these objectives so that humanity could be saved on the globe. And other options also we discussed, that many of us said that okay, carbon sink should be created, more trees should be planted, and we should make the technology based upon carbon more efficient so that pollution is minimized, and carbon as a source should be utilized very efficiently so that we don't misuse it, because eventually it leads to the global warming and climate change. And then all of us ended the discussion on the positive note that still we can find the solution to it, though it is already quite late for all of us, and we have already started seeing the worst part of this climate change. तो ऐसे आप कंक्लूड कर सकते हो और बाकियों का पॉइंट रख के कंक्लूड कर सकते हो। आप सब लोगों ने बात की है, बोला है, लेकिन आपने बाकियों की बात नहीं बोली, आपने अपनी ही बातें उसमें बोली हैं, तो बहुत अच्छा कंक्लूजन नहीं होता है। एक और जो गलत पार्ट आपका कंक्लूजन का था कि जब आपको कंक्लूजन का चांस मिल रहा है तो आप उसको डिस्कशन की तरह से ले रहे हो। अंडरस्टैंड दैट इंट्रोडक्शन इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम बॉडी एंड द बॉडी इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम कंक्लूजन। अगर आप मेरे को कुछ बोलोगे तो मैं आपको ये बता दूंगा कि ये इंट्रोडक्शन है, ये बॉडी है, ये कंक्लूजन। बोलने का तरीका ही अलग होता है तीनों का। इंट्रोडक्शन में यू हैव टू से समथिंग डिफरेंट, एंड एज राहुल नाइस इंट्रोडक्शन, ही classified that why global warming is there and what is the impact of it, and what is being done in this direction and what can be done in this direction. So let's divide this entire discussion into these parts, friends. तो उसने क्लासीफाई किया और बोला कि दिस इज द नीड ऑफ द आर, एंड वो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट राहुल का था, तो दैट इज ओके। आई मीन इंट्रोडक्शन हैज टू बी दैट वे। आपने शुरू में कुछ लाइनें बोलनी है कि ओके फ्रेंड्स, तो आई टेक द अपॉर्चुनिटी एंड आई स्टार्ट द डिस्कशन हियर। फ्रेंड्स, द टॉपिक गिवन for the discussion today is something which all of us can feel in our real life. तो कुछ ऐसी लाइनें याद करो ना, और कब से आप जीडी कर रहे हो, कोई ना कोई लाइनें अपनी याद करो जो वहीं पे तुम क्रैक करोगे। तो कुछ घुमा फिरा के बोलो। अब वो उस तरीके से लाइनें आपने लिखी होनी चाहिए कॉपी में कि साहब अगर ऐसा टॉपिक आएगा तो मैं ये लाइन से स्टार्ट करूंगा। Okay friends, the topic given is something which is of all interest to us, and it's a real issue, is a real challenge the world is facing today. And I think we should discuss this entire topic into the following categories, or we should divide this entire discussion into these categories. Now I request each one of you to come forward and give your valuable points. So वो चीज इंट्रोडक्शन है। इंट्रोडक्शन में क्या होता है कि जैसे ही वो फायर करता है तो सारे लोग दौड़ते हैं इकट्ठे, इसलिए चैलेंजिंग हो जाता है। जैसे यहाँ पे राहुल दौड़ा, राहुल के साथ एक आई थिंक ऋतिक आल्सो वाज रनिंग। तो वो क्या होता है कि आपको वहाँ क्योटिक हो जाता है, कंक्लूजन में नहीं होता क्योटिक। कंक्लूजन में तुम्हारे पास पॉइंट्स भी होते हैं, कोई रश भी नहीं होता, और तुम एंटर कर सकते हो, तो उसको स्ट्रेटेजिकली ले सकते हो तुम कंक्लूजन को। एंड बीच में रह गया बॉडी पार्ट। अब क्रिकेट के मैच का एग्जांपल लेते हैं। कुछ तो यार बहुत अच्छे ओपनर होते हैं, कुछ लोग बीच में जो हैं वो बीच में बहुत अच्छा प्ले करते हैं, और कुछ लोग एंड बहुत अच्छा करते हैं, 4-6 मार के एंड करते हैं। ये आपको देखना है आप कहाँ पे अच्छे हो। ये आपकी अपनी स्ट्रेंथ है कि आप बीच में अच्छा गेम खेलोगे, बीच में या शुरू में ओपनिंग अच्छी कर लेते हो आप, या आप कंक्लूजन अच्छा करते हो। ये प्रैक्टिस से तुम्हें पता लगेगा। लेकिन जो बीच वाला पार्ट है वो हर किसी को चांस देता है। जो बीच के 10 से 15 मिनट होते हैं उसमें हर किसी को चांस मिलता है बोलने का, और बोलना भी चाहिए। अगर आप इंट्रोडक्शन कर लेते हो बहुत अच्छी, कंक्लूजन बहुत अच्छा कर लेते हो, बीच में नहीं बोलते हो तो आप बाहर हो जाओगे प्रोसेस से। ध्यान से सुनना इस बात को, बीच में बोलना ही पड़ता है। ये नहीं हो सकता कि अचानक उठ के तुम जो है कंक्लूजन करने बैठ गए तो ऑब्जर्वर नंबर नहीं देता तुम्हें। अगर तुम बीच में बहुत अच्छा बोले, इंट्रोडक्शन कंक्लूजन नहीं किया, तो पास हो जाओगे। लेकिन अगर तुमने इंट्रोडक्शन अच्छा किया, कंक्लूजन भी अच्छा किया, बीच में नहीं बोले, तो पास नहीं होंगे। इसलिए पास नहीं होंगे कि डिस्कशन तो किया ही नहीं तुमने, जिसको डिस्कशन बोलते हैं वो तो किया ही नहीं तुमने इंट्रोडक्शन किया और बाद में कंक्लूजन मारा, तो डिस्कशन कहाँ है तुम्हारा। सो दैट इज द रीजन बीच में एक दो बार बोलना इंपॉर्टेंट है तुम्हारे लिए। चाहे तुम बीच में फाइट मारो, तुम्हारी बात को सुने ना सुने, ऑब्जर्वर ये नोट कर लेगा कि तुमने बात किया है। इस तरीके से तुम्हें आगे आना है। इसमें कई बार आई डोंट नो यू आर टू टॉक वेरी रेलिवेंट थिंग्स। टॉपिक था क्लाइमेट चेंज। क्लाइमेट चेंज जो है ना ग्लोबल वार्मिंग से रिलेटेड है, और ग्लोबल वार्मिंग जो है वो कार्बन एमिशन से रिलेटेड है। तो कार्बन फुटप्रिंट, कार्बन सिंक क्रिएट करना। ट्रबल ये नहीं कि कार्बन बर्न कर रहे हैं हम, ट्रबल ये कि जितना बर्न कर रहे हैं उसको कंज्यूम नहीं कर रहे हैं, कार्बन सिंकिंग नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो कार्बन फुटप्रिंट जो है उसको हमें ध्यान में रखना है। हम अगर कार्बन बर्न भी कर रहे हैं, जैसे अभी हमारा फॉसिल फ्यूल को इतनी जल्दी हम रिमूव नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज इकोनॉमी डिपेंड कर रही है, लोगों की क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ उसके ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है। अगर आज मैं तुम्हें बोलूं कि तुम्हें घर में लाइट चाहिए या क्लाइमेट वार्मिंग से, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग से फाइट करना है, तो हर आदमी यही बोलेगा घर में लाइट चाहिए। लाइट तो भाई उसी से आएगी, कार्बन से आएगी। तो इसका सोल्यूशन उतना आसान नहीं है, लेकिन क्या है कि तुम कार्बन को यूज करना बंद नहीं कर सकते, लेकिन कार्बन सिंक तो कर सकते हो। तो सिंक के लिए क्या सोल्यूशन है तुम्हारे पास, उसके ऊपर डायरेक्शन में सोचो। अल्टरनेट सोर्स ऑफ एनर्जी वगैरह आएगा साथ साथ, दैट इज ऑल्सो गोइंग टू कम, बट इट कैन नॉट रिप्लेस द बेसिकली कार्बन इमीडिएटली। दैट सोल्यूशन इज नॉट इमीडिएट। हमेशा कोई इनोवेटिव सोल्यूशन आप सोचो दिमाग के अंदर क्या हो सकता है, एंड दैट इज व्हाट यू हैव टू फाइंड इट आउट। I don't know whether plastic ban of the plastic is related to this topic or not, because I could not make a direct correlation of plastic with the climate change. I could not make any direct correlation of ozone depletion with climate change. Ozone layer depletion कुछ और है, और climate जो प्लास्टिक की पोल्यूशन है वो कुछ और चीज है। उसका डायरेक्ट मेरे को क्लाइमेट चेंज के साथ रिलेशन है। क्लाइमेट चेंज का रिलेशन कार्बन से, कार्बन के ऊपर। तो जो तुम पॉइंट देते हो ना, रेलिवेंट अगर पॉइंट है तो वो जो ऑब्जर्वर है वो ध्यान से सुनता है और उसका तुम्हें क्रेडिट भी मिलता है और तुम्हें मार्क्स भी मिलते हैं अगर तुम ढंग से वो पॉइंट बोलोगे। तो कंटेंट इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट। चाहे तुमने 2 लाइनें बोली, काम की बोली, तो भाई साहब नंबर मिलेंगे। अब जैसे कार्बन फुटप्रिंट ओम ने बात बोली तो ओम को नंबर मिलेंगे उसके, क्योंकि उसने कार्बन फुटप्रिंटिंग की बात की। वैसे ही अगर कोई जैसे मेजर कॉज जो है वो कार्बन है, मयंक ने बोला है, तो उसका भी आपको मिलेगा। ऋतिक को रिन्यूएबल एनर्जी के लिए उसने बात की, मिलेगा। राहुल ने शुरू में पॉइंट्स का क्लासिफिकेशन अच्छा किया, तब भी पॉइंट मिलेगा। फिर लेवल जो सारी कंट्रीज को इकट्ठा आना है, ये सैमसंग, आई एम सॉरी आई फॉरगॉट मोहम्मद नेम ऑफ योर, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ, अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ।
मोहम्मद फैजान।
फैजाद, हाँ। तो फैजाद ने जो बोला, FAIZAN, ओके, फैजाल ने जो बोला पॉइंट कि सारी कंट्रीज को इकट्ठा आना है, दिस इज अ ग्लोबल प्रॉब्लम, इट इज टू बी सॉल्व्ड बाय पुटिंग ग्लोबल एफर्ट, उसका पॉइंट मिलेगा। सो हर किसी ने जो अच्छा पॉइंट बोला होगा ना वो नोट कर लेता है। किसी ने सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल बोला तो ऑब्जर्वर सुन लेता है। अब आप ये सोचो कि यहाँ पे मैं अकेला हूँ, वहां पे 4-5 ऑब्जर्वर बैठे होते हैं, और HPCL वगैरह में तो क्या होता है, एक बंदे पे एक ऑब्जर्वर है, एक बंदे पे एक ऑब्जर्वर। उसने राहुल को ही सुनना है, उसने ऋतिक को ही सुनना है, एक ही बंदे को सुनेगा, और अंदर इंटरव्यू में भी उसी को घेरेगा। इंटरव्यू में भी सेम ही पैनल जाता है अंदर। तो तुम ध्यान से इसको पार्टिसिपेट करना। अगर तुम सोच रहे हो कि तुम्हारी सुनी नहीं जाती, ऐसा नहीं, वो सुनता है, बड़े ध्यान से बात सुनता है तुम्हारी, ऑब्जर्व करता है अच्छे अटेंटिवली एक एक बच्चे को। तो जो तुम बोलोगे वो सुना जाएगा अच्छा टॉपिक का। अब जीडी को तैयार करने का तरीका ये है कि जो करंट में इश्यूज चल रहे हैं ना, वो इश्यूज के ऊपर जीडी होता है हमेशा। जैसे आजकल क्लाइमेट जो चेंज है, ग्लोबल वार्मिंग एक बिग ट्रबल है। फिर दूसरा, हमने 75th हम इंडिपेंडेंस मना रहे हैं, तो उसके कई पॉइंट्स हैं। तीसरा जो हमारा कई तरह के पॉइंट्स आते हैं जो हमें करने हैं। मैं आपको इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स आपके पैनल पे भी पढ़े हुए हैं, और जो जो जीडी आता है, जैसे आज आपने जीडी कर लिया, तो इससे रिलेटेड जो भी पॉइंट्स आए वो कॉपी पे तुम्हें नोट करने हैं। अगर आपने जीडी के लिए कॉपी नहीं लगाई है तो आपकी तैयारी अच्छी नहीं होगी, मार्क माई वर्ड्स। अगर आपने जीडी के लिए कॉपी नहीं लगाई है जिसमें आप पॉइंट्स लिख सकते हो और सोच सकते हो, तो आपकी तैयारी अच्छी नहीं होगी। जितना तुम यहाँ बोलते हो उससे ज्यादा तुम्हें सोचना चाहिए कि मेरी जीडी मेरा कैसे गया। फिर आपको अपना परफॉर्मेंस भी देखना चाहिए कि मैं कर क्या रहा था। जैसे इस ग्रुप डिस्कशन में कुछ लोगों ने तो बोला, कुछ लोग हेजिटेट करते रहे। जिन्होंने बोला है, बोलना पहला कंडीशन होता है, रिक्वायरमेंट होता है। अगर बोलोगे नहीं तो बाहर हो जाओगे स्ट्रेट। तो सर बाहर होने के क्या रीजन होते हैं, क्यों बाहर होता है आदमी? पहली बात, बोलोगे नहीं तो बाहर। दूसरी बात, दूसरे को बोलने नहीं दोगे एक्सेसिवली, तब भी बाहर। तीसरी बात कि अगर तुम काम की बात नहीं बोलोगे तब भी तुम बाहर हो जाते हो। ये 2-3 रीजन होते हैं जीडी में बाहर होने के। ग्रुप टास्क में क्यों बाहर होता हो बाद में बताऊंगा। जीडी में बाहर होने का तरीका, बोल नहीं रहे हो तो बाहर, काम की बात नहीं बोल रहे हो, कोई और ही बात बोल रहे हो तब भी बाहर हो। किसी और को बिल्कुल भी नहीं बोलने दे रहे हो, बिल्कुल भी नहीं, ना बोलने दे रहे हो चलता है, बिल्कुल भी नहीं बोलने दे रहे हो, ऑब्स्ट्रक्ट कर रहे हो, तब भी आप बाहर हो जाओ। तो ये 3-4 रीजन होते हैं जिससे तुम बाहर हो जाते हो। अंदर कैसे आते हैं सर? अंदर आते हैं कंटेंट बहुत अच्छा दे दिया, ऐसा पॉइंट दे दिया कि ऑब्जर्वर ने सुना हाँ यार ये तो पॉइंट था मेन, इसने ये पॉइंट दे दिया, और आपकी प्रेजेंस फील हो जाए, जो आप बोल रहे हो प्रेजेंस फील हो जाए, तब आप जीडी पास कर सकते हो। सिंपल रूल। तो मेरी ओर से तो मैंने सारा कर दिया, आपको फीडबैक नहीं दे रहा हूँ कि किसका पास किसका कितना नंबर, वो नहीं दे रहा हूँ अभी, लेकिन ये मैंने आपको बताया कि दिस इज हाउ यू हैव टू पार्टिसिपेट। एनीथिंग यू वांट टू आस्क और टेल मी नाउ?
Sir, the topic in GDs can be related to countries like topic like there is a spy ship in Sri Lanka currently. So it is in current affairs right now. Can this be topic can be
बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक तब आता है अगर आपसे रिलेटेड है, बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक तब है अगर आपसे रिलेटेड है। इंजीनियरिंग एजुकेशन इन इंडिया, तो क्योंकि तुम इंजीनियर हो और इंडिया में हो तब आएगा, लेकिन ये नहीं आएगा। बहुत स्पेसिफिक टॉपिक किसी कंट्री का नहीं आता। हाँ ये जरूर आ सकता है, चाइनाज फॉर एक्सपेंशनिस्ट पॉलिसी थ्रेट टू द नेशन, थ्रेट टू द वर्ल्ड, ये आ सकता है क्योंकि सबसे रिलेटेड है।
Yes. Okay.
लेकिन बहुत ही स्पेसिफिक नहीं आते।
तो जब कंक्लूजन करते हैं तो सर आई कांटेक्ट ऑब्जर्वर के साथ होना चाहिए या फिर?
हाँ एक पॉइंट मैंने ये बताना था कि जैसे आपने ऑब्जर्वर को एड्रेस नहीं करना है, आई थिंक मैंने ये पॉइंट नोट किया था किसी का, पता नहीं राजेंद्र का किया था, हाँ राजेंद्र का किया था। राजेंद्र वाज एड्रेसिंग द ऑब्जर्वर, कि सर करके एड्रेस कर रहे थे, वो नहीं करना आपको। आपको ऑब्जर्वर देखना ही नहीं है, अवॉइड कर देना ऑब्जर्वर, इंट्रोडक्शन में भी, बॉडी में भी, कंक्लूजन में भी। बहुत से बच्चे ऐसे होते हैं ऑब्जर्वर की तरफ देख के बात कर रहे होते हैं, आपने नहीं करना ऐसा, आपने ऑब्जर्वर को एड्रेस नहीं करना।
ओके।
एनी अदर क्वेश्चन? देखो मेहनत करो यार, तैयारी करो। पैनल के ऊपर पता नहीं तुमने कुछ देखा है अभी तक कि नहीं देखा है, आई डोंट नो, लेकिन पैनल के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा कंटेंट पड़ा हुआ और अभी भी रेलिवेंट बहुत से टॉपिक्स हैं जो आपने करने हैं। कोविड के ऊपर बहुत सा, ऑनलाइन एजुकेशन के ऊपर बहुत सा, वर्क फ्रॉम होम के ऊपर बहुत सा कंटेंट डला हुआ है उसके ऊपर, और बहुत से टॉपिक्स हैं, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल, और इसके ऊपर बहुत से वीडियोस पड़े हुए हैं, रेलिवेंट वीडियोस हैं। देखना स्टार्ट करो और कॉपी भरना स्टार्ट करो, कॉपी लिखना स्टार्ट करो। ये टॉपिक आया तो मैं ऐसे बोलूंगा, ये टॉपिक आया तो मैं ऐसा बोलूंगा। और वो वीडियोस जो है ना, मैंने इंटेंशनली वो थोड़ी देर के वीडियोस डाले हुए, बहुत लंबे लेंथ के नहीं है वो। हर वीडियो सुनोगे दो चार पॉइंट तुम्हें मिल जाएगा। हिंदी में बोल सकते हो, अंग्रेजी में बोल सकते हो। गवर्नमेंट जॉब्स, पब्लिक सेक्टर की जितनी भी जॉब्स हैं, उनमें जो जीडी चलता है हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में चलता है। तो हिंदी में बोल सकते हो, इंग्लिश में बोल सकते हो, हिंदी इंग्लिश दोनों में भी बोल सकते हो। बीच में हिंदी में शिफ्ट हो गए, फिर अंग्रेजी में शिफ्ट हो गए, सब चलता है, लेकिन कम्युनिकेशन अच्छा होना चाहिए, पॉइंट्स अच्छे होने चाहिए, ये है डन। अब ये जो आपका मैंने जीडी किया, ये आपका नया जो चैनल है YourPedia का, उसके ऊपर अपलोड हो जाएगा। अपना उसमें रिस्पॉन्स देखना, आप अपने आप को ऑब्जर्व करना ढंग से कि मैं क्या कर रहा था, मैं इस टाइम पे ऐसे क्यों बोल रहा था, मैं इसे क्यों कर रहा था, और मेरे से अच्छा और कौन बोल रहा है। तो आपको एक कंपैरेटिव एनालिसिस हो जाएगा और उस तरीके से आगे प्रोसीड करें, राइट। तो वी एंड ऑफ द सेशन नाउ। ओके, जीडी